News reporters from several outlets have reported flooding at Dollywood. We've scoured the internet and found a few choice photos and also an excellent response from America's favorite theme park. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is a man who I am not sure has tasted the cinnamon bread, Mr. VashSky. Vash, have you been to Dollywood yet?
I have not. Unfortunately, we had plans to visit it earlier in the year, but just didn't make it out there. And man, oh man, Jonas, do I want to see this place, because I just hear just the best things about it.
It is the most naturally beautiful theme park that I have ever been to. It's down there in the Pigeon Forge, Knoxville area. And I hate that if anyone has not seen Dollywood, that this is how you're going to be exposed to the park. That being said, we do need to get into it. These from @ParkFanatic images are surfacing of some insane flooding at Dollywood today. This is from a few days ago on the 28th. Hopefully everyone is safe. This is the parking area right here. So thankfully, this is not in a situation where somebody would be stumbling over something. Obviously, with muddy floodwater, you can't ever be completely sure what you are stepping on there. You might go from sediment to parking lot, or sediment that is sitting on parking blacktop there. But that's pretty dramatic looking, especially when you have little kids, especially if that flood water is moving. But here is interior of the park. I'd be pretty tense there if I had kids and trying to get them through the park. If I had a stroller, this would also be kind of a nightmare scenario. But another view of the trams here. This does not look like it is high enough to damage the vehicles. Well, that probably could be, depending on how low they are. And of course, right here, one of the restaurants at the park. This is not a good situation here, but we're going to go to the New York Post for a little bit more concrete idea of what happened there at the park. Flash floods as Dolly Parton's theme park Dollywood leave one injured. This by Fox Weather. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. One person was injured at Tennessee's famous Dollywood amusement park on Sunday after a powerful thunderstorm moved across the area and produced torrential rain that caused flash flooding. Heavy precipitation was reported across Knox and Sevier counties on Sunday, prompting the National Weather Service office in Morriston, Tennessee, to issue a flash flood warning for the area, including Pigeon Forge, where Dollywood is located. Photos from Dollywood and videos at the time of the flash flooding were reported show water covering walkways and parking lots as people, some with strollers, wade through the rushing water to try to get indoors. Videos also show flooding creeping into several shops within the amusement park. Other videos show a parking lot at Dollywood surrounded by floodwaters, trapping numerous vehicles that were inundated with rising water. People can also be seen trying to get into flooding vehicles. That is a dangerous. I've been through a flood in the past, and one of the things that I never realized is how much damage a flood can do to a vehicle. It's not like sitting in water for an extended period of time is good for a piece of sensitive metal equipment like the interior of an engine. Now, anyways, let's see. One person injured there today. They don't have details on the injury. There he is with a stroller trying to get down there. I'm hoping that before all of this started, the fellow had his t-shirt on, but well, I'm more hoping that his family is okay. Looks like perhaps some elderly people here. Perhaps it's a family with grandparents. Ooh, that is in the middle of the park, and that looks like that water is moving faster than is safe. After the flooding, Dollywood officials released a statement saying one minor injury was reported amid reports of severe weather and flooding. We're going to talk about their response here in just a moment. Vash, what happens when a theme park suffers let's say, a light natural disaster?
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely upends operations, as one could probably surmise. In the case of this, I'm sure attractions were down. I'm sure entertainment was canceled for that day. This is also why some parks forego even being open at all, because it could amount to a dangerous situation. Now, I don't think it was necessarily predicted that it would amount in this way, but I believe it was reported 5 inches of rain may have fallen on or descended on Dollywood in a very short period of time. Took a lot of people by surprise. I heard reports of mudslides as well, which can also be a dangerous situation. Thankfully, injuries, it sounds like, were relatively minor for how many people actually experienced a theme park and how devastating of a situation this could be. So at least thankful for that. And obviously, our thoughts and prayers go out to the person who was injured. For sure.
According to reports, one minor injury. I'm sure there'll be some people that try to come after Dollywood for their preparedness for a natural disaster. Disaster is probably the wrong word to use here. It's a flood, which is in the category of natural disasters, but they do happen on occasion. I'm glad to hear that it's only one minor injury. Could have been a lot worse if they were not prepared. But let's go over to Dollywood's response here. This a park update coming from their social media channel. Dollywood Parks and Resorts tweeted this morning, please see this park update for July 28th and Monday, July 29th. We're recording this on Monday, July 29th. This afternoon, Sunday, July 28th, a strong thunderstorm caused flash flooding at Dollywood. With the assistance of Pigeon Forge police and fire departments, park personnel directed guests to safety during the storm. At this time, one minor injury has been reported. Dollywood is supporting guests whose vehicles were affected by this weather event, and cleanup crews have been deployed. The park currently is scheduled to open at noon on Monday, July 29th. Park officials will continue to assess conditions, and updates will be posted to our social media pages as additional information becomes available. All right, let's take a click over here. And by the way, I don't know why I'm not following Dollywood Parks and Resorts. I got to do that right now. It looks like there's been no additional updates posted here on their social media page. It looks like it's a lot of just updates on the resort itself. I would probably be very frustrated if I have to go back to the park to find my vehicle after a flash flood occurs. At this point, that's bad news for anyone who is in the Pigeon Forge area, which is forgive me, I'm going to say this as a native Floridian, it can be in the touristy side. I would not call Dollywood a tourist trap, but it is very near some things that would be defined as tourist traps. Go ahead, Vash.
I guess this situation was also exacerbated by the topology, the natural topology or topography, which one you want to go with there, of the surrounding area of Dollywood itself. Jonas, I believe you visited Dollywood. Yeah. You were telling me that it's very hilly. It is. There are parts of that park that you should not try to walk from one side to the other unless you're prepared to do a little walking uphill, and that's fine. That's good. We can all be healthy and whatever. You may need a scooter if you have mobility issues there. So Dollywood is built into a hillside. That's one of the reasons that it's so beautiful. We went in the fall when we went, and I was so impressed with the entire park. Beautiful day. But of all the parks to visit when it's flooding, that would not be high on my list. And if you do have a mobility scooter, by the way, if that gets wet, I can just tell you right now, if a certain portion of the undercarriage gets wet, it is an automatic breakdown, and it's essentially you have to scrap the whole unit outside of the batteries. I wouldn't say that I've been part of that, but I'm just saying, the floods, no good.
Now, I would expect that the people at Dollywood are fully prepared to help out guests in any way they can. And I know that the Pigeon Forge Police Department probably did their best to get in there and help everyone out in a tight spot. Now, it may not have been the only place that received flash flood issues, but it would have been a high concentration of people. No word on the nice day spa over there that I've always wanted to see if we can check that one out. Vash, maybe we need to do a review of that one. Not me and you. I'm bringing my wife, not you. Forget it. You're out of this. I hope that Dolly Parton and Dollywood and everybody's recovered, and maybe they can find some way to make it up to guests in a way that is classically Dolly Parton. The only thing that really would put the icing on top of the apology process if Dolly herself came out with a video talking to guests, which she probably should do, because who doesn't want to hear from Dolly Parton these days? That being said, like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.